none, we will call the meeting to order. Jen, would you take roll call, please?
Commissioner Thel.
Here.
Commissioner Waldner.
Here.
Commissioner Johnson.
Here.
Commissioner Corbin. And Mayor Lindsay.
Here. You have before you the agenda, but on it we need to remove item number 1 under new business from the agenda this evening. So with that modification, I would ask for a motion with that modification.
So moved. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Under appearances and acknowledgement, Todd Case is here, Executive Director of the First District Association of Local Governments, with our annual update. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Seems so hard to believe that a year just goes like that anymore. But I'm here again to just talk to you a little bit about the activities of the First District Association of Local Governments, based out of Watertown, of which Lake County and the City of Madison are members of. And I'm going to talk off of 2 sheets. One is this colored one, and this one here is just plain white paper. I'm going to start with the color PowerPoint. And for some of you, this is old hat. But there are some people in the audience, so I'll spend a little bit of time talking off of this PowerPoint presentation. The First District is one of 6 regional planning and development districts located in the state of South Dakota. We have sister offices in Aberdeen, Pierre, Sioux Falls, Rapid City, and Pierre. We've been around since 1971. We are not government, but we're creatures of government. We were created by executive order by then Governor Frank Farrar. Our boundaries run from Roberts County down to Moody, over to Minor, and back up to Clark. So there's 11 counties and 76 communities. Our mission today is the same as it was in the 70s. We're here to promote community and economic development activities and promote the quality of life. We provide a variety of technical services to our local units of governments who are members of our organization. Next page. As far as how we are governed, we have a 35-member board that provides guidance to the executive director. It meets 3 to 4 times a year. This governing body has Roger Hageman from Lake County, Mayor Roy Lindsay is the municipal rep, and Jeff Bloom is the at-large representative here on the board. They provide guidance to the executive director. They approve the budget. They provide insight to what's going on in the area, approve our work plan on an annual basis, and they hire the director on an annual basis. As far as how we are funded, we have 3 general streams of income that come into our office. We have dues. Dues are paid by all of the counties and all the municipalities with a population of over 100 in the district. That represents about 22-23% of our operating funds. We use those dollars to leverage other state and federal grant programs, and we also do some federal and state contract work for about another 27%. And then the other half of our income comes in fee-for-service work. And we do that fee-for-service work for our members at rates that would be less than what you would find in the private market. And that's just basically because of the power of the collective and how that works. I have a staff of 14 individuals that work at the district. We have over 180 years of experience. I'll be celebrating my 26th anniversary here in May with the district. I didn't see that in 1993, but here I am. And but a wide variety of expertise on our staff, a lot of experience on our staff, and the staff does a wide variety of services for our membership, such as packaging applications, and that's something we've been doing a little bit in Madison here the last couple of years. But if there's a loan and a grant program for community and economic development projects, we usually assist in packaging those applications. If those projects get funded, lots of times we then help on the back end and administer those federal and state grant dollars and loan dollars. As far as planning and research, if there's anything that has to do with planning, strategic planning, land use planning, what have you, we've been doing. It's what I cut my teeth on for about the first 15 years in the office, is just doing planning and zoning type activity. We are constantly, it seems like on a monthly basis, at least talking with Chad on a variety of issues. I know he relies with Luke Muller in our office and always he's got a good idea, and Chad's got a great grasp on everything, but sometimes it's just nice to have a little backup when he's looking at different things. We also have a very strong technical aspect of our office. We do a lot of work in geographic information systems, GIS, 3.5 full-time employees just doing GIS work. We also have 4 employees that work with our development company, the First District Development Company, which is more catered to the private sector. We partner with other lending institutions, other revolving loan funds such as READ or GROW, what have you, Heartland, working with them to promote private business expansion and creation. And so usually taking shared subordinated positions or shared first positions on different loans to provide capital to business startups. As far as, what do you get for your investment? I think there's so many things that we do, and I say this every year, that just it's hard to put a value on, so we always just come back with what kind of funding did we help our members obtain over the course of the last year. And last year, just throughout the district, there was about $29 million worth of grants and loans that came in for a variety of different public infrastructure and community development projects. Of that $29 million, a little over $8 million was just in the grants. So if we take our grants divided by our dues, there's about a $30 return on investment across for our membership. Since I've been the director in 2008, as we've been averaging, it's about $65 million coming to our area, about $26 a year. Lake County, there was $9.9 million that came in grants and loans, $2.1 million in grants. Most of that is attributed to some things that have been going on in Madison with the water and sewer project with the USDA funds. Greg Marg in our office worked with Jennifer and Chad and a group of others in trying to facilitate a USDA grant and loan application. So for Lake County, if you take a look over the last 10 years, it's about $22 return on investment. Madison, again, we can see grants over the last 10 years, about $4.2 million, $2.2 million just in the last year with that big water sewer project. Talking about this sheet here, again, in addition to the USDA funding for that water project, I know Greg in our office also worked with LWCF Land Water Conservation Fund grant application that was funded for some Memorial Park playground equipment. That was a $75,000 grant. I know Greg's also working with you guys right now on a big EDA grant application, working with LAIC, and now I hear that the city is coming on board with some major electrical work that's going to be going on there, and so expanding with water and sewer as well. So somewhere in the neighborhood of $6 to $7 million, I just heard today, is what you're looking at doing. And I've been told we need to get things together, so because if we don't have that application submitted before June, we'll miss this year's funding cycle. So I was just told to relay that information.
Very good.
But if that comes together, we could maybe
the same thing.
EDA is a good funding mechanism. First District is an economic development district under the federal agency, which is EDA, and the membership of Madison into our organization allows us to have some access to some EDA programs. We did write a letter of support for the issue and apply for an EDA grant. I don't think it's gone very well yet, but we're waiting to hear final. I know it's been passed on to the next level, but I'm not sure that's going to come together for that Mad Lab. But we do feel pretty good, and we've been told that EDA would really support this True Share project just because of the number of jobs that are associated. It's a nice project that the feds like to also want to and get their name in that support. So if it comes together, they usually will fund up to 50% of in grant dollars. So if we could find a few $1 million to make that thing happen, that would just be wonderful. Again, we're here providing whatever it is that you want us to do. All you have to do is ask, whether it be grant writing or whether it be planning and zoning issues. I know Chad will be talking to you a while. It's probably been a while since we've had a major rewrite or review of the zoning regulations and comp plan, and that might be something that we can help facilitate down the road as well. So I'm just here to answer any questions. If there's anything that you need to know, just ask.
Nope, very good, very good. And I've enjoyed being, on the board and attending the meetings. And, First District covers a lot of ground, and has a lot of expertise in that, that Madison and other cities in that, don't have. And so it's great for the city to be a member.
You guys have a wonderful staff, a very educated staff, a very good staff. And, so we're just sitting in there, sitting on deck and you guys having a conversation. That's kind of what that's how I view our relationship with Madison, communities such as Ramona and Howard, those places, we probably do a little bit more hands-on work. And so sometimes the dues that we receive from some of our larger communities, we use that to fund work in other communities, which is still important to Madison because they're helping out communities within their trade area.
Well, and the nice thing is that $75,000 grant for the playground equipment, that was the maximum grant you could get. And so Madison was very excited in that when we got that.
Madison got one, Howard got one in Flanders. So
Yes.
we did pretty good last year. We were pretty fortunate.
Yes. And we put that with the other dollars in that, and then the Parks Department will be moving forward on the new equipment. So,
Anything else?
other questions or comments?
I'm just curious more than anything. Is the total grants for the district was almost 65 million? Do you have any idea what it is statewide with all the
Over
districts?
the last 10 years,
Or last?
like last year, for example, last year, there was about $8 million that came in grant dollars just in our district. I would say you could probably 5 to 7 times that statewide.
Okay.
The other kind of districts are comparable. It kind of ebbs and flows on the state.
They're not as good though. Just comparable, all right?
They're not first.
Yeah, they're not first.
There are some years, when it kind of gets shifted around. So one year
Sure.
we might get a bunch of community development block grants in this part of the state, then they get shifted to another area.
And that makes sense.
A lot of it-
You're not doing all those improvements year after year
But
after
a lot
year.
of it is, it's not so much us, it's our communities that are investing in themselves. For those communities that are progressive, that are going out and making those investments long range for the betterment of their community. We happen to know where the closets and where the pots of the money are, but we're just more of that conduit between those funders and those people that are trying to do the investments. And whatever we can do to help make that happen, that's where we see our role coming in. And it just so happens that we have those established relationships. It allows us to look at some things that maybe the city is not really aware that they need to be looking at when they're making an application and those types of things. This just comes from practice and relationships that we establish.
Oh, very good. Other questions?
You did seem like you registered a couple months ago.
Yeah,
I've been Lake County a lot more than just once a year. Time just flies. I spent a lot of time in Brant Lake over the course of last year. We were developing a new city over there, South Dakota Smith City.
Yes.
And we were developing some land use plans and zoning regulations for the last time. And so I was making the trip on the interstate quite a bit. And a lot of, getting down here, working with the county on some of their zoning issues as well. So.
No, very
Thank you
good.
for your support. We always appreciate it very, very much.
And thank you for the update and for the work that you do for the city and the citizens of Madison.
You see it funding the kind of things that we've been looking towards and working towards? It's a kind of an obscure question, so if you can't answer it, I understand. But with changes in government at the federal level and those kind of things, will we continue to have those opportunities present themselves, I think?
I'll give you my long in the tooth approach.
Okay.
When I started working in 1993, I was principally a grant writer. And in 1993, there were more pies. The pies were bigger, and people weren't that hungry.
Okay.
Now we have fewer pies, they're smaller, and everybody's starving. Okay? So we're doing more with less. Today, there isn't a project generally that doesn't cost less than $1 million. You guys see that when you're doing things.
Absolutely.
We're seeing our funding, as far as federal funding coming back into the state, when it comes to community development block grants and those types of things, is not growing with the rate of inflation and those types of. So we have to do more with less. However, the state has been doing a very good job with water and sewer projects through their state revolving loan fund, offering opportunities. There's, I would say, a third of the cities in the state are eligible for principal forgiveness, where they give them loans and then they forgive it on those water and sewer projects, especially the sewer projects that are being mandated by EPA to make improvements. So those things are going well. I mean, we have some shortcomings where community facilities, there's not a lot of monies out there for fire stations, clinics, and those types of things, and we still have the need for doing that. I did meet with Secretary of GOD Westra here just a couple weeks ago here. We expressed some of those ideas of there are projects that people are looking for funding that are important. How do we keep the roof on our museum and the libraries and those types of things. There's just not a lot of dollars. USDA has a lot of grant or loan funds, not a lot of grant dollars for those types of projects. There's not a whole lot of money out there for fixing roads and bridges. We're making small incremental approaches, but we're still kind of having to do it on our own. Jails here in Lake County is another example. We're experiencing the same thing in Cottington County. The legislature turned down the idea of us being able to tax ourselves to make those improvements to our jails and county buildings. That will probably come back. We might have a shot at doing that, but I think it's really going to be us doing more on our own and working collectively as a regional entity to look at how we approach growing, because Madison's trade area isn't going to get any bigger, Watertown's isn't going to get any bigger, Brookings isn't going to, we're still geographically locked. So we just have to figure out how to keep all those hubs spinning so the gears are rotating for everybody. So to me, it's really still important to make sure that our smaller towns are vibrant. There's opportunities there for housing. There's land available. Sometimes we have a problem getting secondary mortgages on those new homes that are constructed and be able to hold the value. But to me, if we can find affordable housing in our smaller communities that benefits Madison, because they're still coming to Madison, spending all their sales tax dollars here, that's a good thing too. So that's kind of my overview of how I see things happening right now. Good question. That wasn't
Very good.
answer
Was a good
for you,
question,
but-
yes.
Thank you.
But the big thing is if you have something on the horizon in your long-range capital improvement planning, make sure you keep us in on the front end, because that's where the sooner we get in, the sooner we'll be able to help you.
Very good.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right, thank
Everybody have a
you.
nice
Thank
rest of
you.
Easter.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And number 2 under appearances, acknowledge a letter from the South Dakota State Historical Society and set a date of hearing for April 8th at 5:30 p.m. on the demolition of 705 and North Egan Avenue. And the information is in the packet there. People may be able to submit, their concerns and that in writing to the City Finance Office and that, or appear in person. So with that, do we have a motion to acknowledge?
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 3, acknowledge a letter from the South Dakota State Historical Society to set a date of hearing for the demolition of 709 North Egan Avenue of April 8th on or about 5:30 p.m. And again, same thing. People can be present, or they can submit their, concerns and that in writing to the City Finance Office. So, okay. And with that, do we have a motion to acknowledge?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Is there anything anyone wants removed from the consent calendar?
If not, I make a motion to approve the consent calendar.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Under bid number 881, review and award the bid, pad mount switchgear, transformers, and cable. I'm going to ask Brad if he would address that.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. You should have in your packet a letter from DGR Engineering along with a bid summary for the electrical upgrade project 2019. In this, the recommended award for bid number 1, which is pad mount switches, is to Irby Utilities in the amount of $13,705. Bid number 2 is for single-phase transformers for Resco for a bid of $56,021.40. Bid number 3, also to Resco, for three-phase transformers of $7,548. Bid number 4, the 15 kV primary cable, went to Wesco for a total amount of $103,603. And bid number 6, also went to Wesco for the secondary wire, and that is $26,623. 823, sorry. It's really small in this.
And I think
Bid
on
tab.
bid number 4, it's 103,803.
803, okay, it's hard to read on this,
Yeah.
it's in very, very small print. Sorry.
Okay.
Guess I'm not the only one that had trouble reading it.
Yes.
Oh, that's the spreadsheet was very, very small print.
Questions or comments? If not,
I have-
we
I
have a
have-
motion.
Mayor, I have,
Chad.
and maybe this is a question for Brad, or, I see David's not here this evening, but should we also reject the bids where they didn't meet specifications, or by virtue of them not meeting specifications, did they reject themselves? Because I noticed they were actually lower.
And what Chad's referring to is bid number 3, Irby Utilities had a lower evaluation bid, but their delivery time was beyond the scope of the project, and it would put it to where the transformer wouldn't show up in time to put it in while we're doing the project. We'd have to sit there and not finish the project for quite some time, and we had delivery specifications in the bid, and they fell outside of the delivery specifications, and so their bid was rejected based on inability to meet the standard or meet the
specs.
the specifications.
Did they miss reading that, or were they just unable to
They submitted
make
two
that
different,
date?
they submitted two different bids. One was
Okay.
for the amorphous core, and the other one was for the silicon core. The amorphous core was the low bid on the evaluation bid, and that was the one that was too far out. And so they had one that did make it, they had one that did not. And the one that was the low bid was the one that did not make the time frame that we specified in our bid.
Okay, so on here then, for their bid of $7,548, what's the recommendation from Chad and Brad?
That we award it to Resco for that bid. And that we reject the one from Irby because it does not meet the specifications
For the time.
as we bid, yes.
Okay,
As it
but
was bid.
if I'm looking at Irby, Irby was higher than Resco.
That was their second bid.
That was because the first one didn't meet the specifications.
There's
But
two
on
bids.
both of them-
You look at the evaluation bid, the second one, the second column,
Yep,
the 13,733.20.
okay, gotcha. Okay,
That's-
so we're only talking about basically a
$500, yeah.
$100 some dollar difference.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Is there anyone that has any other questions on this?
And that was, I just didn't mean to throw a fly in the ointment here,
No.
but I just been in these before where I'm not sure the guidance is to reject them, so you have a separate item. One is to reject it because technically it's lower, but also it doesn't meet the specifications, or if it, by virtue of it not meeting the specifications, it rejects itself, basically. So I didn't, again, I'm not trying to throw a fly in the ointment, but
No, I'm glad you did, because even though, Resco is higher, it's only higher by about $150.
yeah.
So it's not like we're, making a huge difference in cost.
Right.
And they meet our guidelines.
It's probably just worth noting in our discussion, and
Yes.
if we ever have any trouble, I don't sense these folks are going to challenge the bid or anything, but.
Right.
They can read the specifications.
Yeah.
Well, and it always comes down to, if you don't pass the specs of the bid, you're out, no matter, cost doesn't even enter into it. But also, this specification is huge, because we're not gonna hold up everything else. We've been down that road before, and so.
Yeah, was not fun.
No, we want to proceed in the normal, if you will, standard progressive manner and get these things in when they're ready and all that stuff. So there was, timing had been spelled out in the bid spec just for that reason, so.
Other
I will-
questions or comments?
I will make a motion that we accept, and Jen, how would you like me to say this? As presented in the packet, or you want me to read through each one of these?
The recommendation letter, or?
There's a recommendation letter.
As per the recommendation letter.
Mhm.
I'm okay with that. We'll list them all in the minutes anyway, but,
Yep.
yep.
Yep. So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Do we have any public comment?
Thanks, Jen.
Okay. On announcements and that, absentee voting begins today, the 2nd of April, and that will be the,
April 9th.
nope, the 2nd of April will be the Chamber of Commerce,
Forum.
question and answer period, and that I believe they held at the Madison High School, and April 9th will be the vote for the mayor's position. So with that,
May I comment, please?
yes.
Absentee voting. So deadline to absentee vote in our office only this year because it is only municipal election. Our office hours are 8 to 5. You can vote in our office until April 8th at 5 p.m. We did do sample ballots this year. We've got a table full of sample ballots. Also, if you are confined due to sickness or disability, you may absentee vote until 3 p.m. of the election day. There's quite a process to that absentee messenger voting, so if you do need that, come see us as soon as possible. But that is available on election day until 3 p.m.
Okay.
Thank you.
Questions or comments? All right, seeing no executive session, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Make a
Make that
motion.
I would second that motion if you're going to make that, Bob.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, everyone.